I was working on New Jersey quite a bit. We have this little jerk out there who, like, literally was threatening a bunch of women with physical harm because they had already planned something, and put out this like counter op video. I mean, just what an asshat. It was just like, are you serious now? Like, you're really like threatening women with physical violence? Okay. Like, I'm half tempted to fly out to New Jersey and just kick your ass because you're such a jerk. Yeah, so anyway, got that under control, and actually out of it, just really cool stuff. There's this really cool influencer out there. If you guys aren't already checking him out, his thing is GunForHire, out of New Jersey. He's a big Second Amendment influencer, and talked to him this morning. He is like totally on board with this thing. He even forwarded a message to another influencer down in Pennsylvania, who is Black Guns Matter. So they're both, I believe Black Guns Matter is on board. I know GunForHire is. So they're going to be pushing this event out there, and we're going to have such a freaking awesome party. Sorry, Nicole's comment. Every time I hear the term asshat, the mental image is hysterical. And that's why I like that term. It's just like, you pull your head out of your ass, Actually, really cool thing. Somebody just hooked me up with Ammon Bundy and, or a connection there. So we may actually have him out at one of these rallies. It sounds like he's interested in it. So, we're going to have a whole different crew at these things. Not like we've been having, we're going to have some strong ass patriots. Not that we haven't had strong patriots, but, physical presence is a little different, in some situations. So, you tried to have your husband buy you a tank, but no success. Well, and he's the guy who would be able to do it too, you would think. I mean, your husband's connected. He should be able to do that. Sorry, Nicole Ferguson just put that up. So yeah, we got that going on. Got off the phone with a great lady out in California. She's extremely well connected. We have a really strong alliance out in California already, with the two reopened California groups and the Libertarian Party out there. And now this gal brings in like a huge audience between her and a friend on the medical freedom side of things. And they're oh man, this is going to be phenomenal. We're just we're connecting up with people all over the place, and they're all on board with this, and that's the thing. Like, when you're talking about building something like this, you kind of got to check your ego at the door. Like, it's not about you gaining fame or me gaining fame. Like, that's the funniest thing is, people like accuse me of doing this for the fame. Like, believe me, I would have been fine not doing this. I'm an introvert by nature. That's why these aren't like super flashy, crazy videos. It's me in my truck, or, me walking around, or me in the basement in front of some curtains. I do want to make it, so it's not like crazy ugly for you guys, but these aren't like some insane production videos. It's just, yeah, I like real a little bit more, so yeah, that's just, that's kind of the way I go with things. And, I think that speaks to some people, and those it doesn't are like, whatever, that it's just, whatever it is. So anyway, we've also had some really cool stuff from business owners now, because of the connection with my militia. They've actually, been coming to me asking if, they can get some backup and help with opening their businesses. And, I think that's phenomenal. I mean, I hope they hop on, we make connections, things happen. Like, and just keep in mind, like, I don't run these militias. That's not what my militia is. It's not like I have some private army here. But it is the connection to the guys who do have, all these little armies. And, not armies, but whatever, militias. They have their own groups that do their thing. And they are the citizens police, the neighborhood watch. That's what they're for. And that's what they're there for. That's what they want to do, So, a lot of them are just like regular dudes trying to take care of their neighborhood. And, with that, cool. Now we can connect you up with a neighbor who's having some problems, like the guy in Michigan, the barber. So we have somebody in Pennsylvania that we're trying to help out. We have another lady in Illinois we're trying to help out with that. And, really, that's what this whole thing comes down to, right? That's why I say, like, check your ego at the door, because this is about helping us as not only a small community, but as Americans, right? That's what this whole thing is about, is connecting up Americans to be able to effectively help and protect each other. That's all we're trying to do, right? This isn't some crazy militant movement. This isn't some like power grab from, citizens. It's, it's trying to connect people up and build bonds, let people know, like Bree was saying yesterday, she likes watching these because, she feels a connection to other patriots. That's what it's about. That's what this is really about. Feeling like you're connected to other like-minded people. They're not all, not everybody is Netflix and chilling and, just happy to be on unemployment. Some of us like to work. Some of us like to be productive. Some of us like to have human connection. And that's what this really is about, is finding and doing some of that. So, there's just some awesome stuff in that direction that's happening. Hold on. There's another group that trying to get all the businesses to just go out on same day and literally just reopen their businesses. Yeah. Yeah. And, that's not a bad idea. You have enough of them. I've kind of said this from the beginning. The one drawback to that is you're all separate. Everybody's kind of weak on their own. They're not, they're not bonded together, which that's where our power comes from, is being bonded together. As a group of Americans together, we are strong. So, that's really where that comes in. Real quick. Question from Nicole. I've talked to many Leos and asked if they would be willing to let me interview them. They're all freaked out and won't put their faces out there due to the threats to their jobs, since that officer got fired because of the video he posted saying that he wouldn't be a part of taking away someone's rights and enforcing something that isn't a law. Got a good response for me. Well, first off, he wasn't fired. He was suspended. And second, he did have threats of being fired. That is a real thing. But he kind of did it in a not so good way. Like, the way I look at it is you should definitely be able to speak your mind, right? And what you do in your personal time is your business. What you do in the uniform is just like, if you were to go in uniform to a bar, right? That's something that's going to get your ass suspended. I think I have a cousin who did that. You go to a bar in uniform and, get shit-faced drunk and get in a bar brawl. Guess what? That's not cool. You should be suspended for that. So, I would say that would be the first thing, is like, I don't need you to be like in uniform. That was where he screwed up, is he did it in uniform, in his patrol car, trying to like make a thing out of it, just somebody who said, they don't even need to say what force they work for, anything like that. Just like, hey, I've been a law enforcement officer for 20 years and I have taken the oath. This is my message to other officers who have taken the oath. that kind of thing. They don't even need to be like, hey, I work for the Chicago Police Department for 15 years. I am Sergeant O'Brady. And, fuck you if you think that you're gonna make me take away somebody else's rights. Don't want that, right? You want just a message from the heart. We don't need to blast their department or have them in uniform. That is probably the thing that would handle that. Even for law enforcement or for military personnel and politicians, I think politicians are going to say what they're going to say, and some of them are just cowardly anyway. That's why I like Doug Mastriano, like that man just says what's on his mind, and it is what it is. He definitely isn't using this to build his campaign because public opinion is not in his favor. But that's kind of how I would go with it, is like that. So, we do need to get more of that. So anybody who hasn't already, please, on my page, I have a list of 6 questions. If I've actually had one guy message me today. His wife is in the Open Illinois group that we have, and he served in, I forget what he said, but he served, he took the oath. And, he's going to do a video, and he's going to talk to some of his buddies to get the video. And that's really what we need, We need to start seeing more and more of that. We're already seeing so many people coming on board with this thing and public opinion really, really changing. So, we've got, potentially between today and tomorrow, we're potentially going to go from like 300,000 as an audience in California to somewhere in the 500,000 range, just because of some of the groups that are coming on board there. That's a 500,000 audience that are going to see it. There's only going to be a small percentage of the total that are going to show up, but we need a bigger audience, right? Because if we're talking to 50,000 and 10% of them show up, well, that's 5,000, right? If we're talking to 500,000 and only 10% of them show up, well, now we're talking 50,000 show up in an area. That's incredible. Even if we're talking 1%, it makes a huge difference. Same with New Jersey, in that whole tri-state area. We just found a great contact out in, I think it was Connecticut today, and she's got a large audience, and she's, helping out with the New Jersey thing. We got people all over that are really, really trying to come together and make this a big coordinated thing. We have some people who are resistant and getting their egos in check. And quite frankly, anybody who's doing that needs to be slapped. Like, this is bigger than your ego. This is bigger than my ego. It really egos need to be checked at the door. They really do. This is not about getting famous. This is about getting our country back. I can't tell you how pissed off that makes me that we have this stupid infighting inside of our own groups. And it's this weird power struggle thing, ego thing. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. And it tells you where somebody's head is really at, and it's not at the right thing, because I could care less whether I become famous or not. Actually, I would prefer not to. Just, that's my personality type. I can turn it on when I need to, just from years of sales experience, but I prefer to go home and just be left alone. That's my thing. So, that is definitely, not my particular, bread and butter. Well, let's say that. So anyway, we're making all of the right connections. We're getting a lot of growth with this thing. I think it's going to be freaking amazing. We've got over, I think it's something like 1,400 people right now that are in the Open Illinois group. That's maybe a little bit over 24 hours old. And a lot of them are coming over and complaining about other groups, and it's like, okay, cool, but they're doing a thing. They're trying to help out. That's fine. Let them. We got a guy in California doing doing a similar thing. Like he just, whatever, he's off on his own page. It's like, cool, let him do that. Like we're not trying to shut him down or stop him. We need to support each other. We need to keep building each other up. And that's the important thing, right? We need to be coordinated, because we come across like when I have an event and somebody else has an event on this, within the same weekend or the same day at different locations or whatever, it comes across to people like we're competing, and we're not. We're supposed to all be, for the same purpose. So as far as that goes, that's where I think we just need to check the egos at the door. And yeah, I know many people in this movement that, like Monica said, we're not looking to become famous. We just want our freedom back. That's all it is. We just want our freedoms that we are granted, per God, per the Constitution, whichever way you want to look at that, depending on your faith. And that's it. That's all we want. Monica's great that way. Like, she got on InfoWars, and I just said, hey, look, I need some help getting this out there. And I was kind of expecting her to like hop on there and talk about it, because she'd already been on there. And she was like, no, I'll hook you up with the producers for there. I was like, oh, awesome. All right, cool. And I mean, definitely awesome thing she did. We actually had some InfoWar vehicles at some of our events, which was pretty cool. But anyway, so, doing that, working on that hardcore, working on getting a lot of people out there and pushing this thing, that's really what we got to keep doing, is just keep pushing the events out there as much as we can, pushing the local groups out there as much as we can, building the alliances, building the teamwork. Anybody, like I got hooked up with GunForHire just because somebody was like, oh yeah, I've chatted with him a couple times via Facebook Messenger. I like the guy's stuff, and I watch it. That's how we got Dad with a phone, out in I believe it was Colorado, to bring us on the show. Just people were like, oh yeah, I know this guy. So if you know somebody, let somebody know about it. Let me know about it. Send me a message. We want to get as many people talking about us as possible. I don't even need to be on the show. Like, if they need somebody to go on their show and talk about it, I'm fully capable of doing it, but I'd rather they just talk about it. And that's what I'm doing with GunForHire. Just you talk to people about it, and we're going to get him as a speaker at the rally. Hopefully, that's what we're shooting for. So, that's really where we're going with it. Just, we want to hear other people's voices. We want to hear, other people talking about it. We want to hear you guys sharing it. You guys, making connections up there. It's like I said from the beginning, it's the multi-headed hydra that they can't kill. So every time they cut off a head, 20 more pop up. So that's where we're going, guys. And, yeah, we're growing astronomically, and it is so cool to see America. And that's just like that's kind of where I'm at. It is so cool to see all these American patriots coming together under this one cause and doing such amazing things. All of you guys doing such amazing things to make this happen, because that's what it is. Like, that's all it is. I'm just like the voice that can talk to somebody who's, high up there, because I got a little bit of notoriety as, a Nazi. So I'm not a Nazi, by the way. Anybody just tuning in case you were wondering, I'm not a Nazi. But yeah, so that's where we're going. That's the growth that's happening right now. And we're building off of what we built on May 1st. We're using a lot of the same communication lines that we built then. A lot of the same people that we met then. Sorry, it's hot as hell in this car. So that's kind of the message. And, I'll put this up to the Q&A. What do we got here? Hold on. Do you know if there's truth behind Trump starting to organize the military for early vaccine to be delivered by end of this year, starting with the elderly? Just curious. I honestly do not know if that's a real story or not. I just looked at the headline of that story, and it was from an organization that was like, into the world.com or something like that. So I tend to put a little less faith in that. It sounds like a bullshit talking head thing. I cannot, guarantee one way or another. What I would definitely say is it's essential to make sure that we win this battle, whether Trump's on our side or not, and that's why I've said from the beginning, we can't pin this on Trump and him trying to solve things for us. We have to do it. Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. It's important that we restore our rights, and this is what I've said, right? So there's the three divisions that are supposed to have a balance of power. There's executive, judicial, and legislative. Those three are supposed to have equal balances of power, right? There's three others. There's federal, state, and we the people. And we the people are supposed to have the most power, the most control, the most freedom to regulate ourselves. State and federal are not supposed to have that much, like very, very minimal. That's why these constitutions are there, is to limit their power. And what has happened is they've continued to pass law after law after law, which actually limits our power instead. And we need to restore that. Let's see where we at. Sierra, to the comment Nicole made, my mom and husband both also told me no to a tank. Yeah. It's a shame. Janae can't get a flight. We're hoping to have her for Flag Day, our next big event. Details will come for that. So the Flag Day is when we're going to do our next thing. We're not quite sure what it's going to be, but make sure you're leaving that day open. Shanda Russell, thank you. She says, you're one of the most humble people out there, Josh. I appreciate that. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. You talk to my wife, she would not agree, but but I try to be with this because, I understand I'm not the one doing this. It's all of us doing it together. So, let's see, what do we got? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I answered that one. That was a question from Nicole earlier. Matthew Winnan joined in from PA. Welcome. Kathy Honacker from Woodburn, New York. Welcome. Shanda Russell is in Seattle. What did she say? The city council has tied officers' hands for years, even calling them murderers. I'm glad he stood up for what's right, even if it wasn't the best route. Yep. Yeah. Oh, wait. I saw TJ Barnes hopped on, man. Hello. Bree. I believe there is a need to seriously look at getting a constitutional attorney to represent a named group of citizens. I could donate to a cause like that. Have we been able to reach out to any? What are constitutional lawyers saying right now? I haven't seen any coming out of the woodwork representing businesses or citizens. There's a really good one down in Texas, Woodfill Law Firm. I talked to that guy. I sent him, information on the hit article and a couple other hit articles that have been done, and he's just not responding to anything. I don't know if he's interested or not. TJ Barnes, Josh Ellis, you see they stripped a barber's license in Michigan for defying Governor Whitmer's orders. I did see that, and that is screwed up. In my opinion, the militia should still stand there, and he should still continue to cut hair. Because, as far as I'm concerned, licenses are unconstitutional as well. Let's see. Happy Hour Al from New Jersey, welcome. Patricia McKenzie, it's a matter of our God-given rights. That's right. And they, that is the key between the two words, right? The word in the Constitution is unalienable. People have started to switch this to inalienable. There is a difference between those messages, between those two definitions. Unalienable means it's God-given and cannot be taken away ever by anyone. You own it, and you cannot even yourself give it up. It's impossible to be lost. It's like a soul, right? You can't sell your soul to the devil because you are your soul. You can't get rid of it, right? Same thing, right? It cannot be even given away. Can't be taken away, can't be given away. You have it no matter what. Inalienable means you have it and somebody shouldn't be able to take it, but you can give it up. So that's the difference in definition there. So it is important that we stay with unalienable instead of inalienable because of the definition difference. Let's see. Aaron Dane, do you know when the president will be in Illinois? I was told earlier that he was going to be in Springfield next Wednesday. That's the same day they're supposed to be in session at the BOS Center. I posted earlier, I'll be there this Saturday and on Wednesday showing my support. And I think there's something this Saturday in Chicago. I think the 16th. They're doing a big thing, like Man-Cow is supposed to be there too. That was one of the groups we were working with for the May Day event that's throwing that one. So that's awesome. Definitely, if you're in the area and you're not burned out, might as well go to it. Nicole Ferguson, I want to be famous for hog tying Prickster, LOL. You've got that stuck in my head too, by the way, now, Nicole. Whenever I refer to him, that's the first word that comes to mind is Prickster. So, let's see. What do we got? Monique Millet, I appreciate your comment here. She said, we appreciate you very much, Josh, and big thank you also to your family for letting you do this. Yes, my wife has been fairly supportive of this, so I got to say, she's a unique lady. And then looks like Pat Riley hopped on. Hello, Pat. Friend of mine from here in Illinois. Let's see, Aaron Dane, it's going to be a team roping event then. Replying to Nicole. That's great. Let's see. Oh, Justin is answering Jason's comment that it may not be totally true. Let's see. Timmy Downs, how in the hell are citizens staying cool in states like New York, California, Illinois, and others when most the other states are starting to open fully? There's a reason that in those states they voted in liberal government. I'm just saying, there's a reason that happened. So there's a reason those are the states where this is going on. Sharon Cree said she shared this. Thank you, Sharon. All right. Pamela Murphy, Minnesota will let retail stores open Monday. No salons, restaurants, and bars. And I hate this soft, staged opening crap. They need to just say, you know what, we're done with it. You figure it out. That's what we were supposed to do. Stephanie has some information about that interview for Trump. So, yeah, please clarify. Pamela Murphy, religious services as long as 10 people or less, which is stupid. Meg Orbiker said, we aren't okay here in Rochester, New York. Where's my local militia? You know what? Go on mymilitia.com. You can look in your zip code and you can get in contact with some people there. That is a great resource for that. Chris Riojas, my mayor and governor here in Indiana stated yesterday we won't open back up until the vaccine. What the... Exactly. Ugh, sorry. Not a lot of sleep last night. Sierra Stompum, there's a couple constitutional attorneys here in Pennsylvania representing people and businesses pro bono. And they're around. We got them going in California too. I think there's one in Illinois that I've seen. Roswaz are part of, I'm assuming that's West New York, is not getting open. I know they pulled that kid COVID disease on purpose and are using that as one of the excuses. It's about the children. Yeah, at first it's about grandma, now it's about the children. Whatever they can say to keep you in slavery. Sharon Cree, state of California, has an active lawsuit against Gavin Newsom. Actually, a couple, I believe. Hold them accountable. Yeah. We need to. This is a great question. Timmy Downs, why will the president not step in and overrule the governors and mayors that are forcing this lockdown when more states seem to be coming out of it? Excellent question. That is one of my main questions. I think he absolutely should be. I think him and Barr both should be there arresting governors for this. They have literally committed treason. Treason against United States citizens. I absolutely think they should be out arresting governors. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Shanda Russell. I started to realize being a proud American was making me a target. Hanging our flag is even becoming dangerous. It's refreshing to know that there's other people out there who understand the importance of standing up for freedom right now. Thanks for being our voice, even in your hot car. It is, I am like sweating here. That's why I keep touching my face. It's not some weird tick or something. It's like literally just sweating here. It's time to shave all this off again. So tomorrow you may see me nice and cleanly shaven again. I'm feeling like a hippie. Let's see. Nicole Lehman. Yep. A lot of us aren't staying cool. We're pissed in Illinois. Joshua Swoboda. Are you a Trump supporter? You know, I am. I was not 100% convinced, and I am not what I would consider a Trumpster. But, you know, when you're given choices, I think you go with the smartest of two choices, and I think Trump is definitely the smartest. I do have a lot of respect, and I think he is extremely undervalued. I think, you know, the left likes to call him an idiot. I do not think he is. I think he is a very intelligent man who is playing a game. But, you know, I don't think, you know, to be part of this, you have to be a Trump supporter. I think people who are Democrats should be part of this because it's about the Constitution. It's not about Trump. You know, I really think that's a major thing here is this is about the Constitution. It's not about Trump. You know, Trump is the president of the United States. He is the head of the executive branch right now. That means his duty is to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now we have enemies domestically to the United States Constitution. And I 100% think he should be doing his job. And that is one thing I am disappointed in, is that he has not been doing that when it comes to arresting these governors. I understand there's more games at play, so I can't crack down on him too hard. You know, I know he needs to get reelected because otherwise we're stuck with Sleepy Joe. And I think that'll be 10 times worse, especially if he puts Hillary as his freaking running mate. There's no surer way to make sure you die than to have her as your VP. Let's see. Oh, Jonathan White, evening brother from Ohio. All right, man. Kathy Honacker had a question about HR 6666. There looks like some interesting things in that thing. I mean, I've been sent that thing probably 60, 70 times so far. But you know, it definitely looks like there's some bad things in that. And, you know, what I would say is it violates the Constitution continually. It just takes it further down that road, and it should be squashed for those reasons. And we need to evaluate laws and everything that we're doing politically from that viewpoint from now on. If it at all violates a constitutional freedom, licenses and businesses, liquor licenses, you know, that type of stuff, gun licenses. If you have to get a license to practice one of your God-given liberties, then it's unconstitutional. If you are, you know, sitting there and told that you have to wear a seatbelt, you have to wear a helmet, you know what, that is telling you have to do things a certain way. And that's part of your freedom. You know what? If I don't want to wear a seatbelt when I'm driving, I shouldn't have to wear a seatbelt. There shouldn't be a law on that. Are you kidding me? Like, my kids in the back, screw you. They're my kids. I obviously shouldn't be an idiot, but it's my freedom and their freedom, to do that. Mandating how long you need to have certain car seats. You know what? That's what the free market's for. Are you kidding me? Have you seen some of the car seats that were around in the 50s? Like, they were a phone book. Like, that's what I grew up on, a phone book. No seatbelt. Like, I remember my dad taking me down to the beach, and I drove his van in the sand for like an hour. I mean, I was sitting on his lap. I was like 5, 6 years old, so, I couldn't reach everything. But he let me have the steering wheel and, go nuts. Are you kidding me? Come on. I should have the freedom to do that. So long as I'm not messing up somebody's personal property, then whatever. Yeah, that's just my take on it. Jason Garnett, I think he's commenting on the Trump thing. Hillary let him go to sleep, and she just wouldn't let him wake up. KO, what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Pamela Murphy, I held the babies. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times this right here, right? Like, imagine I'm there. This was my seatbelt as a kid. That was my mom every time she had to brake. Just, that was my seatbelt. Yeah. My mom's arm right across my chest. I tell you what, that elbow always caught me right in the middle there. But, I was fine. It is what it is. So, yeah, that's life, right? That's the America we're supposed to have, and I think that's how we need to evaluate things from now on. Is it constitutional or not? It's very black and white. If it's not, no go. No mas. If it is, okay, cool. And quite honestly, any law that's going to be written is probably unconstitutional. Just like, just basically you're limiting things a little too much. That's the basic thing. Let people do what they're going to do. Let people live. Let people go on about their lives. Let them have some freedom of choice. And you know what? We're not stupid. We're not irresponsible. We can figure shit out. We've been doing it for centuries, as Americans. And we've been doing it much longer than that as just the human race. When you talk about we were, chasing down saber-toothed tigers or being chased down by saber-toothed tigers, we figured that out. And look where we are. I'm talking on a phone that's more powerful than the computer that launched the first spaceship into space. Come on. I mean, we figured some shit out. That's all I'm saying. Timmy Downs, why not hold a rally in 3 major train or subway entrances? You will be heard. Block the subways in these major cities. That we're looking for what we're going to do for Flag Day. So, we will we'll take that into consideration. That's not a bad idea. But yeah, so message for today. I'll end this up because I've been going a little bit long here. Message for today. Keep spreading the word. Keep making connections. Get connections to right people who can talk to them. And please, please, please keep spreading the word. That is the most important thing. Keep getting people active. We need to blow these groups up. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna share a link here for all the New Jersey folk. Down at the bottom here, because we like I said, we had a little counter op go on by some dude who's like just running a political campaign for some asshat senator. So make sure you know anybody, invite them to that group. Anybody from that New Jersey area, invite them to that group. I'll share the link down below. So yeah, that's where we're going, guys. Keep spreading the word, keep getting it out there, keep making the connections. Stay active, stay vigilant. All right, guys.